covered consonants, vowels, diphthongs, triphthongs, assimilation. It's high time to move to the level of sentences and conversation. As you know, when we speak, we don't have a pause after each and every word. We should have connected speech, not isolated items. Yeah. So we don't talk like machine guns as we speak in our native language. We don't usually talk like machine guns or robots. So when we have a sentence like, where have you been? Now, foreign language learners, when they start speaking, sometimes think of individual words, I mean, single words. They don't try to connect words together to sound like a meaningful unit. Yeah. So, in a sentence like, where have you been, John? Okay. How would you say it as a meaningful unit?
May I, Doctor?
Yes, Lena.
Where have you been, John?
Okay. So now have is an auxiliary, yes? It's an auxiliary.
Yes.
Auxiliaries do have a strong form. I mean, every auxiliary or a conjunction, say, a modal, must have a strong form. But as we speak, we don't always use that strong form. Strong form means stressed form. Stressed. You know what that means? Stress. Stress
تأثير.
is a degree of prominence a syllable has. It's the degree of prominence a syllable has. I mean, some syllables receive stress, others are unstressed. So, for instance, when we have a word like CAMERA, CAMERA, how does that sound? How would you say it? How many syllables does it have? How many syllables? How many syllables?
6.
No, syllables, not sound. A syllable means مقطع. A syllable is usually a sequence of
3 syllables.
Yeah. Okay, try again.
3 syllables.
3 syllables. Can you say it? Can you try to say it?
Ka, mi, ra.
No, just say the word. It all depends on how the word is pronounced. If we get the right pronunciation, we can get the right number of syllables. Yeah?
Camera.
Okay. Can you say it? Hello?
Camera.
Again?
Camera.
Now, some people do say camera, in which case we have camera. In Britain, they say camera.
دكتور كاميرا بتصير مقطعين يعني.
Yeah, camera, in which case we have only 2 syllables. Camera. The word BOUND A-R-Y. How would you pronounce it? How would you say it?
Boundary.
Again?
Boundary.
Yeah, that's very good. Boundary, because the A is silent. So it's not boundary, it's boundary. 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 So we have two syllables, yes? Okay. Now, auxiliary verbs do have different forms according to the context in which the word occurs. So, for instance, in a dialogue between, say, A and B, where have you been, Tom or John? Okay. B, I have been to England. A, have you? So how would this sort of dialogue go on? How would you say it? Let's have two participants, Lena and Ella.
Yes,
Lena,
doctor.
you're A.
Where have you been, John?
Okay.
Where have you been, Ala?
Okay. Try
Can you
again.
repeat the sentences?
Now the first reads, where have you been? Okay. Your role would be, I have been to England. Then A would say, have you? So can try again.
Yes, doctor. Where have you been, Ala?
I've been to England.
Yeah, okay. That sounds okay.
Have you?
Okay. Now here, the word have occurs in A, B, and A again. Now, in the first, there is no need to say, where have you been? Anybody. Have becomes whereof, whereof, whereof. In other words, the ha sound is dropped, plus the a sound, as in cat, becomes a schwa. That's why in spelling, even in spelling, we write were, apostrophe, ve. Now this is the contracted form or the weak form of have. Then we have I, apostrophe, ve. So this means that the word have as an auxiliary has three forms. The strong form, which is have, ha sound, a sound, and va. This is a strong form, the stressed form. Then we have two other weak forms. Why do we call them weak forms or short forms, abbreviated forms, contracted forms? Because they lose some of their sounds. So in saying where have you been, whereof, the ha sound is dropped and the a goes to schwa, whereof. So we have schwa, the sound, whereof. I've been, not I have been, I've been to England. Then A again, have you, because it's important here. You need to emphasize the word have, because it's important. Yeah. So we do this again. Where have you been? Where have you been, Tom? I've been to England. Oh, have you? So this is how language works. This applies to has. She's been away. She is been away. She is. She has, that is. Sorry about this. She's. She has. She's can either be she has or she is, depending on the following verb. So if we have a past participle form of the verb, then it's has. If it's the present participle form, then it's V plus ing form. That would be present participle form, in which case we need the auxiliary is. So he's playing. He's playing. That is, he is. They hardly say he is playing. He's. So we have he plus apostrophe with an S. He's doing his work. He's doing his work. He is connected. A weak form of is. She has been studying since morning. She has been studying since morning. She's been studying since morning. Now she's, in which case we have only a z sound, yeah, is a weak form of has. He's is a weak form, he's playing, is a weak form of he, is a weak form of is. He is playing. Yeah. Of course, this applies to words like will. We don't always say, I will join the meeting. Yeah. I will let you go. For instance, we say, I plus apostrophe plus
double L.
That's in, and even in spelling, we have contracted forms, but sometimes these are ignored. I mean, some teachers, school teachers, of course, seem to be unaware of contracted forms. Although in spelling, I mean, they should be illustrated. Since we have short forms in spelling, we must have corresponding weak forms in pronunciation, because as we speak, not every word, not all words in a sentence are important. So when a word is not that important, we use one of its weak forms depending on the context. I'd, for instance. I'd.
I would.
Stand for?
I would.
Either. Again, here. I'd like and I'd done it.
إما had إما would.
I'd like is short for I would.
I would like.
I'd like. I apostrophe D. I'd like and I'd done it.
I had.
I had
done it.
done it.
Yeah. So verb to be, am is are. Verb to have, has, had. Verb, I mean modals, and some words. So words like land, for instance, land. It's a la sound, a sound as in cat, land. But as this word is combined with words like England, Scotland, Ireland, yeah? Do we say England, Scotland? No. What do we say? We say England.
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 That's a weak form. The weak form of land, when it's used in a compound, a combination of two words, it becomes a schwa, not an a sound. When it's used alone, it's land. When it joins words like England, we don't say England, we say England. Scotland, Ireland. Same applies to the word man. Man. How do you transcribe it? Ma sound.
A.
A sound as in cat.
N.
And N. Okay. Now what happens as we use it with the word police?
Policeman.
Police plus man. What would that be? How would it be
Policeman.
pronounced?
Policeman.
Yeah, most people tend to say policeman, businessman, milkman, postman. Now, I mean, just forget about this pronunciation altogether. It goes to postman, policeman, milkman, businessman. He works as a businessman, not businessman. So man has a weak form, which is ma plus a schwa, not an a as in cat. Okay. Now we have to use these weak forms. They occur in most languages, by the way, including Arabic. So in Arabic, for instance, ala, yeah, ala. Although I'm not happy about يتصل على. Do you say يتصل على or يتصل بي?
يتصل بي.
In English, they say call on this number. In Arabic, we don't say يتصل على. We say يتصل بي.
بي.
In colloquial Arabic, what do you say?
على.
اتصل على الرقم ولا على الرقم؟
على الرقم.
على الرقم.
عين, just عين. We drop
Yes.
the lam and the vowel. Yeah. Right. Pardon. The ain, for instance. In the ain, for instance, we say رايح على البيت. على البيت, yeah. ain plus البيت. على البيت, not على البيت. That's a weak form. In some dialects, في بيتنا in standard Arabic, yeah, standard Arabic, في بيتنا. How is it pronounced in some dialects? You say في بيتنا?
بيتنا.
بيتنا.
Yeah, في بيتنا, yes. It's just a fa. Yeah, it's just a fa. So the word loses some of its sounds. Okay, let's have the word and. Yeah, and. And has three sounds. An a sound, as in cat. Then you have n sound and da. Okay, let's see what happens as we say Tom and Mary got married. Tom and Mary got married. How would you say it?
Tom and Mary.
Yeah, we don't say Tom and Mary. Tom and Mary. So Tom and Mary. The D is dropped, the da sound is dropped, and the a sound becomes a schwa. Toman, schwa, and that's a weak form of and. Tom and Mary, Tom and Mary got married. In Britain, they have signs like fish and chips, fish and chips. So they simply write N. Fish, the letter N even, and chips. That's how they pronounce fish and chips. Fish and chips. Fish and chips. So the weak forms of and may be schwa, na sound, or na without the schwa. Fish and chips. Tom and Mary. But notice in the sentence, not Tom or Mary, but Tom and Mary. How would you say it? Not Tom or Mary, but Tom and Mary.
Tom and Mary.
Yeah, we say not Tom or Mary, but Tom and Mary. So here, and is important. If the word is important, we highlight it. We say it louder. And it has a strong form. Not Tom or Mary, but Tom and Mary. And Mary. Right. Let's have strong and weak forms. Okay. No. Okay, you can have this.
Yes, doctor.
Yeah, just a minute. Right. Okay. Now let's have this. Where have you been, Tom? Where have? This is the transcription of have. Where have? See? Where have you been, Tom? I've been to England. Oh, have you? Now this means that verb to have has three forms. A strong form, have. This is the strong form. The strong form is the citation form, the form given by dictionaries. So in the dictionary, you'll find the transcription of have as this, have. That's the strong form. Because when words occur in isolation, on their own, by themselves, they have a strong form. But when they are used in connected speech, they lose some of the sounds. This is the first weak form. Weak because it has lost the ha sound. Where have you been? Where have? I've been. I've. So it has lost two sounds here. So we say this word has a strong form and two weak forms. The and schwa. Okay, let's have this. Look at the way weak forms are written. Weak forms, contracted forms. Look at this. The sun, apostrophe S, hot today. Then it, apostrophe S, hotter than yesterday. Here it has a short form. This is reflected in spelling. Here, there is no apostrophe S. It is, which means that is here has a strong form. It's not a weak form. It's not a short form. Yeah? So how do we read this? Or how do we say it? Not read it. The sun's hot today. The sun's hot today. So it's not the sun is hot today. The sun's hot today. It's hotter than yesterday. It's hotter than yesterday. It is. It is. So the first is the sun's sound. The sun's. The second is it's. So it's not it is. The first is not the sun is. The sun's. The sun's hot today. It's hotter than yesterday. It is. It is. Yeah? Can try again? Can try these again?
Yes, Doctor.
Let's have two more students. To do the first. Have, then, is.
May I,
Who'd like
Doctor?
to try?
Hi, Doctor.
Who's that?
Salam.
Okay.
May I?
Can I, Doctor?
Ghadir, do we have Ghadir?
Can I?
Ghadir and Ibrahim. Or who was the one? Who was the first?
Salam.
Salam.
Okay. Okay. Salam then and Ibrahim.
Okay.
Okay.
Where have you been, Tom? I've been to England. Have you? Oh,
No, we need A, B, A.
okay.
So Salam, you are A. Ibrahim, B.
Okay. Where have you been, Tom?
I've been to England.
Have you?
Try again.
Oh, have you?
Okay. Now start again.
من البداية.
Yes.
Where have you been, Tom?
Where have you been? Where have you been? Yeah. Where have you been?
I've been to England.
Okay.
Oh,
Good.
have you? Oh, have
Have
you?
you? Right. Okay. Let's have two more students.
May I, Doctor?
May I, Doctor?
Who's that?
May I?
Two more students.
May I, Noor? May I?
Who's that? Ala?
Yeah, doctor.
Yes, Doctor.
Okay. Ala and somebody.
May I, Noor?
A male student. Because we have Tom.
Okay.
Any participants?
Can I?
May I, doctor?
May I?
Somebody else.
Doctor?
Some more participants.
Can I, Doctor?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, doctor.
Yes, Osama. So, Ala and
Ala.
Osama. Ala and Osama.
Where have you been, Tom?
Yeah, good.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, that's very good. Yeah, this is the way we should speak and read. We should read and speak in a conversational way. This is one of the characteristic features of conversation, by the way. So we should speak or read in in a conversational way. Imagine that you are talking to someone, because reading reflects speech, or speech reflects reading. Speech reflects reading, the written form. Right. Okay. The next one.
May I, Doctor?
Yes, sure.
May I? May I?
And
Can I?
yeah, okay, Ibrahim.
أبلش دكتور.
Yes, sure.
The sun's hot today.
Okay.
It's hotter than yesterday.
It
Yeah.
is.
Try again.
The sun's hot today.
Yeah, okay.
It's hotter than yesterday.
It is.
Yeah, okay. Okay. The sun's hot today. It's hotter than yesterday. It is. So even as you read, don't pause at the end of a line. I mean, read it as a connected piece. The sun's hot today. It's hotter than yesterday. It is. Okay. Let's have one more. Okay. Why?